Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good morning, everyone. So today we are gonna talk and learn about English Morphosyntax in the latest meeting, which is meeting 2, and we can just go and talking about this. So the first one is we have words, and we will learn about lexical word and grammatical word. The first one is lexical word. So lexical word is also known as a content word. It's the meaning can be found in a dictionary. So a lexical word, you can find the meaning of that lexical word when you open your dictionary, and it's convey information in a text or a speech. So the lexical word contains the information in a sentence, and it can stand within its own. So you can define the meaning by the word itself, and it's done it another particle or such to you to understand the meaning of the word. The examples are pepper, green, quickly, fast, salt, gorgeous, and reading. And there's a lot of lexical word that we can find in our daily life, especially for noun, verb, adverb, and many more. We move to the second word, which is grammatical word, also known as a structural word, conveyed in a sentence by word order and other grammatical signals, which is it need the lexical to be followed by lexical word, because this is to identify the grammatical signal or grammatical structure in the word order, and it contains particular grammatical word, also little identifiable meaning, which is it cannot stand on its own. So it needs to be followed after or before the lexical word. The examples are like prepositions, pronouns, determiners, conjunctions, auxiliary, and particles. So all of these kind of words, which is grammatical words, are need to be followed after or before the lexical word. So it can be, we can know the meaning, the exact meaning, because if we only look at this, we won't know the exact meaning, and it's just a little identifiable as we talked about it before. And the second one, we move to morpheme, the smallest meaningful unit. The first one, we have lexical morpheme, also known as free morpheme, can be uttered with meaning, can stand alone within its own. It mostly content of verbs and noun. So lexical morpheme is same as the previous one, which is lexical word, but morpheme is the smallest meaning of unit. So if we separate the word into some parts, lexical morpheme is the smallest unit of lexical word. So we have the examples are happy and in unhappy. So happy is the smallest meaningful unit in unhappy, and we have great in greatest, beauty in beautiful, jump in jumper, brush in brushing, answer in answers, and love in loved. So we have this, the morpheme is the base word we known as the free morpheme. And then we have grammatical morpheme, which is also known as bond morpheme, cannot be uttered with meaning. So it's similar with grammatical word, and it cannot stand alone as a word because it needs to be placed in after or before the lexical morpheme, and it mostly contains of prefixes and suffixes. For the examples, li in shortly. So we can apart this word shortly. The short is the lexical morpheme, which the li is the grammatical morpheme. We have an in undo, ando, and ing in cooking, im in imperfect, it in walked, and is in smartest, and the last one is re in rename. So if you look at this, so we can identify is the short, do, cook, perfect, walk, smart, and name are the lexical morpheme, which the prefixes and suffixes are the grammatical morpheme. We move to the third content is a morphology, which is derivational morphology and inflectional morphology. So derivational morphology is a change of words into different part of speech, and it's using an existing word to make a new word, and the meaning of the new word derived from and away from the original meaning. So it's a little bit difficult to understand, but we will just move to the examples so that we can understand it more. Example one is write to writer. So the R at the end of the word is the suffix, and it's become different. I mean, like it changed the part of speech of the word. Write is a verb, and when you add the R, the suffix, it becomes writer, and writer is a noun. So it changed the part of speech of the word from verb to noun. And then we have slow to slowly. Slow is an adjective and slowly is an adverb. Wear to wearable. Wear is a verb and wearable is an adjective. Then we have weak to weakness. Weak is an adjective and weakness it's a noun. And then the last one we have national is an adjective and nationality is a noun. So this is the change of if we add suffix or prefix, it will change the part of speech of the word or the word class. This is the name is derivational morphology. And we move to the inflectional morphology. Inflectional morphology is the change of words without the changes of word class or part of speech. The change conveys grammatical information and its contents of affixation or vowel change. So basically, inflectional morphology is when you add a prefix or suffix, but you didn't change the part of class. So if it's noun, it's still a noun. If it's verb, it's still a verb. You are just adding more prefix or a suffix to make it like from the singular to plural, or it's convey the grammatical information like from the simple past, like from the simple present to present continuous like that. So we move to the examples. For the examples is first one, eat to eating. It's still verb. And then book to books, it's still noun, but it changed from the singular to plural. And then we have complete to completed, advantage to disadvantage, and possible to impossible. So it's all still in the same word class or part of speech, but it changed the grammatical information. We move to the fourth, is conjugation. So the definition is conjugation is the changing of a verb's form to express a different person, number, tense, aspect, or gender. So basically, conjugation is actually didn't exist in English word, in English language. It sometimes exists in Arabic or Spanish. Like the verb, it's changed, followed by the subject. The object, the verb is changed due to the subject change, and you don't need to say the subject, so you only say the verb, the object, and followed by the another word class. But in English, we must need the subject, so conjugation didn't exist in English language. The fifth one is languages. We will talk about analytical language and synthetic language. So what is synthetic language? Synthetic language is a language that shouldn't have to follow the sentence structure. It's have a high morpheme per word ratio, largely independent or morpheme usage classification, and the examples of the language is Greek, Latin, Arabic, Italian, etc. So synthetic language is you don't need to follow the sentence structure or the word orders, but it still have the same meaning. So whatever you talk, whatever you write, it's even you put the subject at the end, you put the object in the beginning, it still have the same meaning, but it's different from the English language. So we move to analytical meaning. So it should have to follow the sentence structure or word orders. Syntax and meaning are formed largely through the use of particles and word order. It has strong and detailed synthetic rules, often really heavily and contextual and pragmatic, organized words and grammar with strong word order, and the examples are English, Chinese, etc. So analytical language should have to follow the sentence structure or word order, because if we put it on the random structure, it will have the different meaning. For example, in English, if we say I eat apple, it means that I eat the apple. So I eat the apple. But if we exchange the subject at the in the middle and the object in the beginning, it will like apple eat me, apple eat I, which is it doesn't make sense and it can be understand, it will give you the different meaning. So English is an analytical language and it's not a synthetic language. So I put the resources from here. I have a lot of resources that I got it from here. And that's all. Thank you so much for your attention and thank you so much for watching this video. If you have some queries or anything like suggestion or criticism, you can contact me through my email or WhatsApp. And this presentation was made by me, Marshanda Shafa Aulia, for English Morphosyntax D class. And thank you so much for watching once again. I hope that you are understand my presentation for it, and happy learning. Thank you. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.